There had been times in history when the rate of change was so fast that events outpaced our ability to hold them long enough to learn their lessons, or to make the connections with the past that should have been preserved for our children. We've lived in such a time. It was the soul-searing, change-producing period of World War II. The first time around, we were busily engaged in the fighting of a war or working hard to support those in active battle. In 1943, black men were brought into the workforce to support the Rosies, the women who replaced men fighting overseas. With a few possible exceptions, African American women were the last to join the home front workers, not until late in 1944. We were living in a time of tremendous social change, escaping the hostile South and adapting to new ways and attitudes. We were developing new expectations for a fuller life in the West. It's time now for a second look, at a time when we can revisit those years, informed by the civil rights movement of the 60s and with fewer of the blinders of blatant segregation that scarred the war years. But at that time, we were still constrained by such limitations. Labor unions were not yet integrated. As a young file clerk in Boilermakers Auxiliary 36, I saw that all black workers had trainee or helper typed on their union cards after their names, a guarantee that they'd not be in competition with their white co-workers for jobs when peace came. But there was an upside to the practice that allowed for the development of leadership within our own ranks. Chicago's Marlon Rolls, Secretary-Treasurer of Boilermakers Auxiliary 36, and Spencer Jordan were two such leaders. The women of the California Ambulance Corps presented a check to Auxiliary 36, monies raised in the black community for war bonds. In all, over $30,000 was contributed by African Americans through the Union Auxiliaries, the black churches, and the NAACP. Think of that in terms of today's dollars, perhaps something over $1 million, at a time when salaries averaged about $49 a week. The launching of the SS Robert S. Abbott, named for the publisher of the Chicago Defender, was the social event of that year and brought many who traveled from faraway Chicago to celebrate the occasion with a huge banquet, after parties, and emerging national entertainers, Lena Horne among them. In addition, the SS Harriet Tubman and the SS George Washington Carver were built and launched in the Kaiser shipyards. We built 4 ships named for historically black colleges: Xavier, Talladega, Fisk, and Lane, the SS Ethiopia, and the SS Toussaint Louverture, named for the black Napoleon of Haiti, the former slave who led the Haitian Revolution to victory at the end of the 18th century. It was, indeed, a time of pride and purpose.